so my hope was to have a review done and maybe a guide or two before Elden Ring dropped, and that's dropping today in an hour. And after sinking 13 hours into Horizon, I haven't even reached the Forbidden West, where the main part of the game takes place. So yeah, there will be zero chance I'll be done before Elden Ring is out, and I absolutely want to play and cover that. Meaning Forbidden West will be put on pause, but I will pick it up after Elden Ring. But I have played enough to give you at least my first impressions of the game thus far. The game starts with a short recap of what happened previously. Sylens, the fight with Hades, they gloss over a lot of the things and then they just hit the ground running. Sylens left, he's doing something sinister. Aloy is trying to find a backup of Gaia. The world is basically ending. You meet back up with Varl and Erend. Avad the Sun King makes his appearance and you see images of Elizabeth and Ted Faro. And if none of these names are ringing a bell and you're struggling to remember who is who, don't worry, I am too. I played this back in 2017 when it was released and I really enjoyed it, but that was 4 years ago. That little recap they had at the beginning was not sufficient. There have been multiple times I've been tempted to go look up a recap of the previous game. I haven't yet. So if you've not played the first game, you absolutely need to. Or I guess you could find a lengthy, in-depth recap about it on YouTube. Otherwise, you will be lost. I played the previous one and I still feel a little lost. Maybe once I've made it to the Forbidden West where all things are new, things will get a little bit better. I'm guessing not, but maybe. Certainly things will be new in the Forbidden West, but the main story quest still stems from the previous game, and you need knowledge of that. Now, aside from the story, I do want to touch on the gameplay, and it's real simple here. If you didn't like Zero Dawn, you will not like Forbidden West. They both have the same gameplay loop. The only big change would be the skill trees in the Valor system. There are 6 skill trees to go through and put points as you please, and this does let you customize your playstyle. So if you prefer to stealth around, there's a tree for that. If you really like your bow, there's a tree for that. Each of these trees have many passive and active abilities, and one new thing is they have Valor abilities. In combat, you'll gain Valor points. Gain enough and you can use a special ability. Right now, I unlocked the infiltration one that actually lets me sort of stealth and camouflage myself. But there are many, many others. Now, if you didn't play Zero Dawn, the gameplay is basically obsessively looting all the things you can while killing all the machines you see, but also taking into careful consideration the weaknesses and weak points of those machines, while also ensuring you break off the right parts that you'll need for an upgrade. Yeah, you literally have to aim and shoot off the horns of a machine to get that item so you can upgrade your armor. And that's just the tip of the iceberg on the intricacies of combat. There's also lots of climbing, exploring, some minor puzzles, and a ton of side quests. Now, this isn't a perfect comparison, but to give you an idea, I'd say it's sort of like The Witcher 3. And if you've never played that one, well, you really should. Another large difference from the previous game is the graphical fidelity. I'm playing this on a PS5 and I prefer a higher frame rate, so I'm playing in performance mode, and this thing still looks gorgeous. I have had some minor issues with the UI flickering and pop-ins, but the vast majority of my 13 hours have had no issues whatsoever. Also, the facial animations and voice acting is some of the best I've seen.
Oh, me you refuse to transport, but not this... what? This Nora girl? This savage? Besides, scallywag.
Wadis, that's Aloy.
Studious Wadis.
Aloy, you know, savior of Meridian.
Really? Well, that lessens the insult, I suppose.
I came here for the embassy at Barrenlight. Way I hear it, so did you.
I do have one big complaint, and it's the same complaint I had from the last game. There's no block or parry system. Now sure, you're not really going to be able to block or parry these giant machine animals as they're charging at you and whatnot. Your best bet with those is just dodging out of the way. But there are many humans you fight too, and there is close quarter combat. Aloy will bring out her staff and you'll have a fight, but you can't block, you can't parry. All you do is just sort of dodge roll around them. The game really could have benefited with a good block and maybe a parry system, but at least a block. Beyond that, I don't really have any complaints yet. My fear is that the game will start to get stale as I do things over and over again, but we'll see. So if Elden Ring isn't your thing, you should totally be playing Forbidden West after you play or watch Zero Dawn. As for me, I've been hyped about Elden Ring since forever, and it's looking to be a really good game. So I'll be hopping over to that, maybe stream some of my deaths. But I will come back to Forbidden West at some point. Like, subscribe, bell, you know the deal.